want to adopt the protocol which has been established before me in the interest of time, but I must recognize the presence of the Honorable Jean Hamilton, our Minister of Housing, but the distinguished parliamentary representative for St. Christopher 8, of which Cayon is an important part. Let's give the Honorable Jean Hamilton a special round of applause. I also want to recognize our Cabinet Secretary and all the other officials from the ministry and beyond, including our National Security Advisor, Mrs. Delacroix, Valencia Grant, our Press Secretary, Dr. Triton and Mrs. Triton, our Assistant Commissioner of Police, Andrew Mitchell, and of course, our visiting police officers from Jamaica, who are now part of our Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. Sergeant or Inspector Garrick, could you stand? And of course, Senior Superintendent, let's give a hand, Mr. Pinnock. We welcome them as we welcome all of you. But I'm especially delighted to see so many parents here. And I want the parents to give themselves a round of applause for standing with the young people. Mr. Petty says that one of the is by and large to save our young people from the gangs and all that come with it. One of the things that certainly comes from gang membership is debt, violent debt. And as we mourn, as we have mourned in the Cayon and Keys community, time and time again, we know that where there is gang, there is drugs, and where there are drugs, there are illegal firearms. And these illegal firearms are used time and time again in destructive ways. The challenge is if we do not stamp it out, and stamp it out soonest, we will be a country always in mourning. Mourning for the senseless loss of our young people, but mourning because we will destroy the economic life of our country, and all of us will suffer for it. Crime is no respecter of persons, and gangs have no respect for law and order nor persons. And so I am happy that the parents have come out today to take a stand, because very often in life, the young, vulnerable children need their parents to stand with and by them. And so I am particularly pleased that among the 60+ parents who are out this afternoon are several fathers and father figures. Could the fathers in the group please stand? Could the fathers in the group please stand? Fathers in the group stand. We are so proud of all of you, and we want to thank you for coming out today as we launch the 5th Explorers group. Why is the presence of so many parents important? Because surveys have indicated that the variable or the entity that has the greatest impact on the performance of young people, not the teachers, but parents. That is what the survey said. Over 5,000 people surveyed in educational setting, in St. Lucia, in St. Vincent, in Antigua, in St. Kitts and Nevis, all over the 8 member states of the OECS. And what surprised the researchers somewhat was that the single most important entity in the lives of the children, identified by them, was the parents. That is why the parents have to be close to their children. That is why it is important that you are here today, and you will be there on the 19th of September, no hurricane, to see them in the Independence Parade. And I believe again, the largest group on parade come September 19 will be over 300 strong explorers participating in the parade. And so we are encouraged by today's turnout. It is the fourth one which I am attending, and this has been exceptional in terms of the group. Parents, adults are important in the lives of the children, and the teachers too. The teachers have to be knowledgeable about the communities from which children come and how they are going to respond to their differing abilities. It becomes critically important. We want in our schools more loving and caring teachers who pamper our children with love, care, and consideration, who make up for the deficits in our homes, who make up in the deficit of the development of moral values because our parents have been careless in not ensuring the young people go to the Sunday schools and go to the churches. That is why the schools have to ensure again that moral instruction form part of the school's way of life. We have pastor and chaplain, Reverend Cumberbatch. He is prepared to come. But in Cayon, you have many churches, so there should be no reason why at least once a week the young people can't have a moment spending time in worship and building their moral base. And so I want to encourage the school to become more active in the community and to encourage all 60 of you plus to become more active in monitoring, because it goes back to the research. When parents examine the books at afternoon, when parents ask if you have homework, when parents say, go and ask your cousin to help you, and they do that in a consistent way, over time children get more excited about learning, because they yearn for the appreciation and support and encouragement from their parents. And we are fortunate. Almost every neighbor would have someone who would have gone to school, who have gone to secondary school. So we can find help to get the homework done and to provide extra classes and support among family and friends and membership of the church. And we have to utilize these, because that is part of our duty, to bring up the children in the way that they should grow, so that when they become old, the knowledge, the values that you would have inculcated, they do not depart from them. So I am very pleased and happy by the turnout and encourage you to come. As you take a stand today, you have to take the stand every day. And sometimes when you take a stand, you have to be prepared as a mother, as a father, as an uncle, to stand alone. Stand alone for what is right for those who are under your care. Stand alone when you go up Upper Cayon, and you know there are gangs up there as gangs down here. You have to be prepared to say, my child will not be part of it. You have to be prepared to say, as a parent and a responsible adult, none of those young men And none of those drug women, because women are in it too, will give my child any marijuana or any cocaine or any guns. Because that is what they're doing now. As the police get tight with them, they look for more vulnerable persons in the community to carry out their dirty acts. They look for women who are vulnerable to carry their guns. They look for children. And we have found that they have gone so far with their wickedness that they have gone into primary schools and recruited some of our young children to trade with their guns and drugs. And we must stamp it out. And you, the parents, have to have the strength to stamp it out. When you know they are guns, you have to tell somebody. And if you're afraid to talk to the police, then talk to Eugene Hamilton. Then talk to his sister who is a pastor. Then call Father Percival. And call the Reverend for the Moravian Church. There must be somebody you can trust with the information. And if Miss Matthew is not too coward, you could call her and ask her to pass on the information for you too. Because that is how we are really going to deal with it. When the society takes a serious stand about what it believes in, violent acts that we are having, suddenly nobody knows. Nobody knows, yet somebody has seen. Until the next victim is your friend, your cousin, your daughter, or some other innocent person. So we can't hide. I want to not only commend you, but to say that the government, to the Ministry of National Security, to the Ministry of Education and Social Welfare, will do all that we can collaboratively to help you. If you have children you know who are problematic, nothing is wrong in saying so to the teacher, so that they can get the support early. The guidance counselors could be advised, and specialist support could be brought in to help them young. And that is why we have come into the primary school, because we have to save the future of the country, and we have to save them early. Early. That is why the admonition is that you bring up the child in the way the child should grow, so that when they become old, meaning before they get there, we have to have redeemed them. And so I want to again congratulate all for this exercise, to say thank you for coming out, to thank the police officers who have volunteered their time to be here and to organize this group and to encourage even more. In closing, I want to refer to a quote from the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres. And he says, and I quote, "The hopes of the world rest on young people. Peace, economic dynamism, social justice, tolerance, all this and more today and tomorrow depends on tapping into the power of youth." The world's survival then, our ability to move on, to live in peace, to have prosperity, all of that depends on how our young people perform. And we have to tap in the power of youth. In St. Kitts and Nevis, 65% of the population is under 35 years. So we are not just a young nation, we are young in every respect. Therefore, we have to harness the vitality, the dreams, the imaginative spirit of our young people to help build a robust country. And of those who are 35 and under, the majority of them are between 0 and 19 years. 65% of the population under age 35. And the majority of that 65% is below age 19. That's a lot of young people. That's a lot of tapping into the power of young people. The best athletes, the best MCs, the best entertainers, the best prophets and prophetess must come from that cadre of young people. That is what we want. The best of our teachers, the best police officer, the best nurse, the best press secretary. We must be able to identify them as we see our young people blossom in glory. So today is a very special day. And I say thanks to all of you who are committed to allowing the young people who have been described almost every time in the Bible in very pleasant terms. Blessings of the womb. Blessings of the womb. I would that each and every explorer find himself and herself so that our community, our families, our society, our St. Kitts and Nevis can be a blessing in the sight of man and in the sight of God. To God be the glory again. Congratulations for this formation. And let the young people go on a positive journey. And everything and anything that you can do as a parent, as an adult, do it. Whatever lifestyle you may choose for yourself, I am asking the parents to give the child a chance to make a positive choice for themselves. And finally and lastly, if you know where the guns are, please say something. If you know where the drugs are, please say something. And please keep the guns and drugs out of the house and out of the yard. Because the examples that you set, these children are likely to follow. May God again bless us and encourage us, especially the parents, to take a stand, a positive stand for our children. Thank you.
Stay up to date with news, programs, and activities of the government with SKNIS. Like us on Facebook. Listen to us on SoundCloud. Follow us on Twitter. And watch our videos on YouTube. Connect with us today. SKNIS, St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service.